So I'm facing the wolf today. If we were facing on the battlefield, I'd smash you. But this is just movie trivia, so let's have some fun.
Hola, it is I, El Scriblo, and I am here in, ¿cómo se dice? Trivia de películas te quita la cara? The movie trivia face-off? Sí, I am here, and I am here today representing the lone wolf, Chris Diaz. And I got to tell you something, folks. My little wolf, my labito, it is very strong, it is very hungry, it is very powerful, and it is ready to take over the MTFO. So, we are here today, and we are going to show this Vikingo who is the boss, who is the jefe around these parts. And with that said, let's get it going. Let's do this, okay?
What is up, Face-Off fanatics? Welcome back once again to the movie trivia Face-Off. As always, I am Andrew the Outcalc. I'm the greatest, and I don't got to tell you that. Joined today on the desk for another GEEKTACULAR celebration, another spectacular showdown between two amazing competitors is my broadcast partner. That's right, he's the man from all the way in the deep, deep South. It's Hillbilly Scribs.
Howdy, folks. Howdy, Elk. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing very, very well, Scribs. I'm looking forward to another great match. We're off into season 2 of the movie trivia face-off, and I'm just wondering to myself as I sit here today, I'm a big wrestling fan, as I know you know from back in the day. The Deep South, to me, that seems a lot like Parts Unknown. Is that basically the same place?
Well, I would have to consult my doctor about that, but I think so.
Well, there are certainly many things that Scribs and some of his family members do not know, most of them above the 5th grade level. But what we do know today, Scribs, is we've got two great competitors today. Let's talk a little bit about them. We've got Garth Harkness McMurray making his debut here in the movie trivia face-off. Not a lot known about him, but from that pre-match interview, I can say one thing. He's definitely worthy of something.
Yeah, well, he's got a big hammer, and I reckon he's about ready to lay it down in his debut here in the GEEKTACULAR division. Like you said, we haven't seen him in one of these matches yet, but I have seen him in some of the other matches that we do in the MTFO, and the fella does know his stuff.
Well, he better know his stuff if he's stepping in today against a wolf. I'm thinking big guy with a hammer, wolf. This reminds me of a movie. Oh, Liam Neeson, The Gray. That's a GEEKTACULAR movie, right? And one more question. I mean, Scribs, it has to be brought up. I have to say it. We've got a manager for Chris Diaz, very well-dressed gentleman, but he reminds me of somebody. Are you thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, Scribs?
Yeah, he's my new flipping roommate. You know, my roommate, Jeff, y'all know him. He helps out behind the scenes in the MTFO. He done gone and invited someone else to come stay with us, and it's that Scriblo rascal, and I really don't like him. I tried to talk Jeff out of it, but Jeff said that he needed someone here that could help pay the bills. I don't know what that means. He told me I was a squatter, and I told him I didn't understand the reference because I use a potty just like everyone else. So I don't know. We're going to see. We'll see what he's all about, but that's all I know right now.
Well, I've read a few things online that say that squatting is actually very healthy for you, Scribs. But enough about that. Enough talk. Whoops, forgive me.
What you did there.
Let's get right on into the matchup. No tail of tape today, folks, because these are a debuting competitor and a fairly young competitor in the league. I love when we get the newbies facing off, and I cannot wait to see where this one goes. Scribs, are you ready to get our competitors in here?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's introduce our first competitor, being represented today by his manager, El Scriblo. He is Chris the Wolf Diaz.
Hello there.
Welcome, Chris, to the MTFO. Exciting match today. Are you ready to face off against Garth McMurray?
Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to meeting the dogs and having a fun match today.
Well, it should be a fun match, so let's get him in here and get this going. His opponent, Garth Harkness McMurray.
The Viking.
That's right, the Viking definitely dressing the part today. Are you feeling very warm in that outfit?
Yeah, it's a blustery winter, so it's nice to bundle up.
Well, as a great man once said, you're warm and you're in a forest with Heather Locklear. Scribs, let's go ahead and get to this. If you are ready, I'll ask our competitors.
Yeah.
Let's go to the wolf first. Looking like he's hanging out with his very own wolf pack. He's got a friend there in the background. No cheating now. All right, Mr. Diaz, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Born ready.
And Viking, are you ready?
I am indeed.
All right, with our competitors ready, then let's get ready to face off. All right, first round. Here are the rules, gentlemen. In the first round, each competitor will be asked 10 movie trivia questions from 10 different GEEKTACULAR categories. Each question will be worth 1 point. Once the question has been asked, you will have 15 seconds to answer the question by writing it on your whiteboard. Once we say your name, please reveal your answer and verbalize it at the same time. Just like that. That's verbalizing it. If you do not hear a question correctly, if you need a little more time, each of you has 3 repeats during the course of the match. You may ask for a repeat. We will repeat the question and restart the clock. Each of you also has 1 challenge. Should a question be ruled against you and you feel it was done so in error, or you feel that it was worded in such a way that the question was unclear, please use your challenge. If your challenge is upheld by our judges, you will retain your challenge and you will either be given the points or we will put in a new question. If your challenge is overturned, you will lose your challenge and will not have the option to use it for the rest of the match. Do you understand the rules, gentlemen?
Yes, I do.
All right. With the rules out of the way, we are ready to go. And as always, Scribs, it's a pleasure to be here on the desk with you. So why don't you kick us off?
All right. So we're going to start off with our new friend, the Viking, and he's going to get question number 1.
Well, I believe both competitors will be getting the questions.
Oh. I was going to try not to.
If I just get it, that's fine.
I mean, if you want to give an advantage to one of our players, that's fine by me. I don't write the rules, but I think we might get a complaint from Corey Morissette.
Okay, well, shoot, he's going to dock my pay again. Well, here we go. Let's try it again. Competitors, both of you fellers, your first question in round number 1 is from that there. Oh man, it's from my favorite category, the Wizarding World. Gosh, get ready for me to mispronounce some stuff right here, right now. Your first question is, in Them There Crimes of Grindelwald, what location did Newt and Tina infiltrate looking for documents to confirm the identity of Credence?
Now, one thing I know for sure, Scribs, is that you are definitely familiar with newts.
I'm also familiar with the Credence Clearwater Revival. Is that what this question's about?
Oh, they are absolutely one of my favorite bands, but this is not about them. I will say, though, they do have some very short songs. Some might say they're something like 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down, competitors. We will go first to, hey, you wanted him to go Scribs? Let's go to the Viking.
All right.
I don't know this movie well, so I took a guess. New York Library. New York Public Library.
Unfortunately, not the correct location, although not a terrible guess.
No.
We go to Chris Diaz.
The Ministry of Magic.
Ooh. I will say that we are not going to award that point. Technically, it is the French Ministry of Magic. We were looking for the clarification that it is the Ministry of Magic in France. We're not going to be giving out that point.
Had I
You challenge it.
I hear a challenge. Do you want to challenge the question, Mr. Diaz?
You know what? Sure, because trying to think.
All right, we have a challenge on the board. We're going to go ahead and cut away, folks. We're going to get right into that. And boy, challenges in season 2 have been off the charts. Let's take a look at it. All right, folks, we are back and challenge has been put in place. The challenge by Chris Diaz is that we asked for a location that Newt and Tina infiltrate. We did not ask for the country. It is unclear. It is a Ministry of Magic, and specifically a Ministry of Magic, unlike the other one that appears in those films, which would have a specific name. For that reason, I think it's only fair that we do uphold the challenge. That said, I'm not going to give them the points easy. We're going to go ahead and throw that one out. We have another Wizarding World question for both competitors. And Scribs, aren't you happy you get to read another one of these?
No, I'm not. But I'll do it anyway because I am a professional. So your replacement question in that there Wizarding World is this. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, what is the Tri-Wizard Cup revealed to be when Harry and Cedric touch it?
All right. Mr. McMurray indicating he's not that familiar with the Crimes of Grindelwald film, which I don't know if I tell that to a competitor, but let's hope he's more familiar with these ones.
I got no idea.
All right, gentlemen, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mr. McMurray.
Snake.
Once again, I do understand the guess. I don't think it's the worst guess in the world, but I think I know what he's going to get if opponent's choice comes up on the wheel. Mr. Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
Portkey.
A port key is the correct answer.
Yeah.
1 point on the board for the Wolf.
Revealing my weakness on the first question.
It's
You
quite all right.
Brother.
Unlike most men, I have no weaknesses, but perhaps you have a strength in your next category, Viking. Let's find out. Category number 2, gentlemen, is MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a simple one for you. What year did Spider-Man Homecoming swing, I see what they did there, into theaters?
Very, very clever.
Well, I've got to do something, Scribs. I don't have the easy button because there's no comedy category in the GEEKTACULAR division, so I got to make them laugh some other way.
I appreciate your efforts.
All right, Spider-Man films in the MCU. I enjoy these movies, and gentlemen, hopefully you did as well. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we will go to Mr. Wolf.
2017.
And Viking.
2018.
And that's 2 points for the Wolf. It is 2017. 2017, the correct answer. A little bit of a slow start, but early in the round. Scrib, let's take him to our next one.
All right, folks. For your next question, question number 3, it's going to come from the category of the Middle Earth. And your question is, in which Middle Earth movie do we meet the character of Bjorn? Born. Is it Bjorn or Born?
I believe it's Bjorn or Beorn, but to be honest with you, Scribs, if the Vikings' weakness was revealed in question number 1, mine would be revealed here.
I'm just glad there weren't any big words I had to try to get through on that one.
And this is a hot take for you, Scribs, because I did read these books when I was a kid, and I was a big geek growing up, all that fantasy stuff, but I did not like the Middle-earth movies.
Yeah, reading is hard.
All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We go to the man with the big hammer.
The Two Towers?
Two Towers is not correct. Wolf, do you have it?
The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
On fire today with 3 points out of the gate. This is where you start to get worried if you're out there competing, Scripps. He's got to get some points on the board and hope for some misses from his competitor, but lots of match remaining.
Yeah, you know, one of the best pieces of advice I was ever given was, you just got to get your first question correct, and then once you get that, it's pretty easier after that. But sometimes getting that first one is the hard part.
Yep.
Will this be the one, gentlemen? Category number 4, DC films. DC films. Those are the ones starring Plastic Man. In Batman Returns, who plays Max Schreck?
Oh man, you know I like it when he hangs out with that donkey that Eddie Murphy does.
That is definitely true. And to be honest with you, Scribbs, I know you're confusing him with somebody else, but I would pay good money to watch that movie you're describing.
Yeah.
And
I almost ruined it there. Sorry.
5, 4, 3. You only improve things with your presence, Scribbs. 2 and 1. Pens down. We will go to the Wolf.
Christopher Walken.
For his 4th point, it is Christopher Walken, Viking.
I finally got one. Christopher Walken.
And there's that point on the board. The Viking is alive and kicking.
Yeah.
Good to see.
I almost blew that one, folks, with a terrible Christopher Walken impersonation of him doing Shrek.
One be like you.
If you just have
One thing that everybody has, Scribbs, it's an opinion. If there's 2 things that everybody has, it's an opinion and a bad Christopher Walken impression.
Oh, you are so right.
Want to talk like you? Talk like you.
Oh, hey, we're going to save all those impressions for the other show.
First impressions, you might say.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to question number 5. And this one is in the category of their Star Wars. And your question is, in which Star Wars movie does Rose Byrne appear?
Oh.
Byrne, did I say that right?
I believe Byrne is correct. Just think of that 70s show. You'll remember. Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Big favorite category for a lot of people. A lot of people with a lot of deep knowledge. Could be that our competitors today are among them. 5, 4, 3, 2, and pens down. We will go to the Viking.
I was not sure on this one. Phantom Menace.
And to the Wolf.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Correct, with Attack of the Clones, with a 5-1 lead going on halfway through the first round. Not the start you want to see. He's hoping now for a good category in round 2 or a real stumble for the Wolf. Let's see if the Wolf can keep it going. He's perfect halfway through as well.
Yeah. But we still got a long way to go, folks.
The match is never over until the 5-pointer is done or that TKO gets called, but I don't know necessarily which one's going to happen. We've got to get through the match to find out for sure. So, question number 6, gentlemen, coming your way, is from Marvel Films. Who directed 2017's Logan? You see what I did, Scribbs, is I got our question right is to give all the really wordy ones to you, and then I get the ones about release dates and actors. Just makes my job so much easier.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice that. Thanks.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to make friends with all the people in the back, Scribbs, or blackmail them like I do. Either way, it works out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, Mr. Diaz.
Director that should have been nominated for Best Director this year, James Mangold.
It is James Mangold, and from the looks of things, the Viking did not say
Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes.
No, James
To
Mangold.
1. Whew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We are moving in a particular direction. Scribbs, my goodness, this match has been all Chris Diaz so far.
Yeah, he is off to a fiery start here for sure. We still got a few more to go in this round, so let's see what happens. And oh man, as the elk mentioned, I'm getting all of the hard to read questions. So this next one, your number 7 question, is in the category of weapons, tech, and oh man, I hate them magical objects. Your question is, in Star Wars: A New Hope, What is the name of the rebel counselor ship with Princess Leia aboard in the opening sequence or scene? Actually, I would have known this one.
That's very interesting, Scribs, because I got to tell you, you got that round one. Every now and then there's one in there that I think is of a slightly higher difficulty than the way the rest of the questions are. And honestly, I think this might be the one. Got to know your Star Wars in the MTFO, apparently. Our question writers clearly have been practicing while they're writing for that division.
Right on.
Repeat.
Okay. And I want to thank you for not making me repeat one of the hard ones to read, sir. In the category of weapons, tech, and magical objects, in Star Wars A New Hope, what is the name of the rebel consular ship that their Princess Leia is aboard in the opening scene?
I take it, yes, yeah.
Once again, clearly somebody who knows a lot about Star Wars and wanted to show it off. They put the words rebel consular ship when they very easily could have just said, what's the ship that the Princess Leia is on board in the opening?
I don't know, but what I really want to know is, where are the ambassadors?
Well, I know that it was just a diplomatic mission. Will they get the correct answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Pens down. And Viking.
I did not know it. Just took a stab, Orion.
Incorrect. We will go to the Wolf. Will he continue his streak?
I think I did not get that peacekeeper.
Also incorrect for his first miss of the round.
Those were both good spaceship names, folks. But not the one we were looking for.
4. Here's the point, Scribs, where I'll ask you, did I pronounce that correctly?
I've heard it called Tantive, and Tantive.
Also, when it comes to Star Wars, I think that's a 4, but it's written in Roman numerals. In Star Wars, you never know if that's an alien name. Maybe it's the Tantive Iv.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to defer to my roommate Jeff when it comes to IVs, but I think it's a 4.
It would
I
have
see
a
what
license
you
plate
did
if
there.
Andy played on it for that opening scene.
All right.
Real close. I think the name is on the license plate on the back of the ship. Or is that another one?
I think you're thinking of Spaceballs, Scribs, my favorite Star Wars movie. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Looking to get on that IV, get some support, and get some points on the board. Viking, you want to get all these remaining questions. You want to stay pretty close because you've got a big gap right now. Let's give you boys your next one. Question number 8 in this round will be in the category of Star Trek. All right, in Star Trek 2009, on which planet do Kirk and the Elder Spock first meet Montgomery Scott? Almost said Montgomery Spock. That would have been a shameful thing.
That would have been bad.
I got to tell you, I'm a big Star Trek fan, Scribs, as I think you already know. I'm watching that Star Trek Picard right now, and I got to say, I'm making a discovery, and it's that, yes, Discovery really did suck, and Star Trek Picard's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Picard's pretty good, and there's some good stuff in Discovery. It just wasn't shoot, I can't think of my word. It wasn't as consistent as Picard.
I do like some of the actors in Discovery, but I think they made a lot of mistakes with that series. Let's see if our competitors have made a mistake in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go ahead and see if the Wolf can get another point.
I did get it, Relic. I can. Not tracking my
Vela, close to part of the answer. Viking, what do you got?
Way up. Iowa 9. I know it's the Frozen planet, but.
All right, and the answer is, it looks like a space fraternity here, Delta Vega. Delta Vega.
I like it. Or maybe a space sorority.
Either that or a Street Fighter character.
Don't get me wrong, I love Star Trek. I need to watch a bunch of the movies.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We're going to move on to your question number 9 in this first round. And your question comes in the category of scores and soundtracks. And your question is, who scored Justice League?
You see that, Scribs? We love you around here. We give you a couple of nice easy ones.
And I don't know what the score was in the Justice League, but I think the Justice League won.
All right, 2 questions remaining right now. We've got a 6-1. Could still be close if Diaz misses both and McMurray can get them. We're going to end up only having a 3-point gap between the 2 competitors. Gentlemen, in 5.
I'll get
4. I'm sorry?
I'll get a repeat, please.
Repeat it is.
All right.
That's
So
1 each.
in the category of their scores and the soundtracks, who scored Justice League?
I mean, I know the fans on the internet scored this movie. They were not very kind.
No, they weren't. No.
I enjoyed Ezra Miller's performance. I think everybody was doing a pretty good job. I actually thought Ben Affleck was doing a decent job as Batman, but I think there were definitely some missteps. Number 1, Steppenwolf.
Yep.
Or a Miss Steppenwolf.
There you go. Tee that one up, and Scribs takes it away. That's why we make a great team here on the desk.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, your answer's in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down. Viking.
Did not pull it. I missed it.
Not even a guess. Wolf, do you have an answer?
Danny Elfman.
That is correct. Danny Elfman to extend his lead.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually did not know that.
Very well done. I remember this one myself. I think there was a bit of fun trivia in that they used part of the score from the Tim Burton Batman movies in Justice League. Hopefully that it's not a question later who scored the Tim Burton movies. All right, gentlemen, and your 10th and no perfect rounds will be your final question in the world of DC films. It's a pretty easy one for you, at least pretty easy to read out and understand. Gentlemen, who played Lois Lane in Super... Yes.
You mean DCU or DC film?
Ah, I see why he is asking that question. We have a DC film on the document. And you are asking, I believe, Mr. Wolf, if I'm not mistaken, because you have been keeping track and you understand that we haven't had a DC EU question yet. We've only had a DC question. All right, that is interesting. What will we do about this? You know what, gentlemen? We are a professional organization here at the Movie Trivia Face-Off.
Oh, I see.
But in the end, sometimes mistakes do happen. I think we're just going to go ahead and give you 2 DC questions, if that's all right with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I will talk sternly to our question writers about this one.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Your question. Oh, actually, you know what?
You could.
I'm going to go ahead. I can fix this very, very easily.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix it very, very easily. Your question is in the DCEU, gentlemen. Who played Lois Lane? The beginning of the question from before. Only I'll change the movie in Justice League.
I had the other one.
You see what I did there, Scripps. Instead of asking about Superman 4, I just asked about Justice League, and now it's a DCEU question.
That was a dang good recovery there, sir.
I mean,
That's why we get the big. And looks like Diaz excited and maybe asking for that DC.
Let me do this one.
I know the Margot.
I'm not asking who played Lois Lane in Superman 5, 4.
I'll get a repeat because I think I can pull it.
All right, we've got a repeat. Your question in the category of DC EU.
Okay.
Who played Lois Lane in Justice League?
All right. Maybe I'm right.
All right, Scribs looking to get that pay bump. He's looking to take over my part of the job with the count. Go ahead, Scribs, and count them down in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and to move to a big 8 points, Mr. Diaz. What do you got?
The one who had yet to win the Oscar, but I love every time she appears on something, Amy Adams.
Not disagreeing with that one bit. Absolutely amazing in Arrival. And Amy Adams, he manages to get it. The Viking also on the board there. Well, Scribs, that is a first round and not one you will usually expect to see. A big gap opened up as we're moving towards round 2. This is the point where the Viking is definitely hoping that wheel likes him a lot.
Yeah, and you know, as we know, anything can happen in round 2. That wheel can be your best friend or your worst enemy.
And the key here in the movie trivia face-off, of course, as it is in our favorite, the Schmodown, folks, supported at patreon.com/the Schmodown, is that you can't give up in these matches. We've seen people close those gaps before, but 6 points is big. It's going to take a lot of work as we go into round number 2.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our rules for round number 2 go a little something like this. Both of our competitors are going to get to spin the wheel, and they can, if they don't like their first spin, they can respin it unless they land on their opponent's choice. Now, the competitors will get 5 questions from the chosen category. Questions are going to be worth 2 of them their points, but if they don't know it, they can always check down to multiple choice for 1 point. Now, where this gets fun is opponents can steal if their fellow competitor gets it wrong. And you can still use your repeats and your challenges through these. And if you need to, you can, believe you can get your multiple choices repeated 1 time for free.
You can get the multiple choices 1 time in the entire round for free. After that, you will be charged a repeat. And we've got your geek wheel up there in some lovely colors today. Gentlemen, the categories on the wheel for you will be DC Extended Universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Star Wars, which is a universe far, far away, Heroes and Villains, not at all a universe, Star Trek, travels the universe, scores and soundtracks. They all have universe in them somehow today. I don't get it, Scribs. That's the universe of music. Middle Earth, that's I think I'll end this bit now because I'm running out on this one. Marvel, of course, not a cinematic universe. That one is just plain old Marvel films. And with the lead currently being a very impressive 8-2, a 6-point difference, that means that Chris Diaz will have the option. Would you like to spin the wheel first or defer to your opponent?
You know what? I do defer because I do be a sportsmanship here.
All right, looking for his chance to catch up, wants a strong category here and does not want to give away a single steal. Remember to spin from the digital wheel, not the digital pegs. Viking, go ahead. All right, I'm not sure. It looked like he was miming grabbing a peg. I think he might be angry about it or something, but we'll see what's happening as he let. Oh, this is not his match today, going completely against him. Everything's falling apart. Viking lands on opponent's choice.
You know what to do. Make him bleed.
So sorry, Victory were Harry Potter.
Yep.
Thought that might happen, giving away that weakness in round number 1.
Man.
And I will be asking the question. Here we go, Scribs. I will ask the questions to Mr. Diaz. I will save you from all these weird wizarding words and all these long form questions.
Wait, that's what I'm about to be asking to the Viking.
It's to me. It's my wheel.
Oh, so Scribs gets to ask the Wizarding World questions again? Oh, Scribs, see what happens?
So now he's got to read the Wizarding World stuff.
God, well, sometimes it don't pay to get out of bed. Oh, man.
Make it worse.
It's a random wheel, Scribs, but I got to say, if this becomes a pattern, I'm going to find it amusing every single time.
Yep. We'll see. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Mr. Viking, your first question in the realm of the Wizarding World is this. What is the name of Ron Weasley's pet rat?
All right. Choice.
Opting for multiple.
Multiple choice. Okay, so your choices are going to be squeakers, scabbers, sniffers, and scuttles.
I'll go with these scuttles.
Scuttles
Is incorrect.
is not correct. So we'll throw it over to Mr. Diaz for the potential steal. Do you need me to repeat the choices?
No, got it.
All right, what you got?
Scabber B.
Correct.
And that is correct.
1 point.
All right. Moving on to your second question in the Wizarding World. Okay. In the Sorcerer's, or depending on which side of the pond you live on, the Philosopher's Stone, what do Harry, Ron, and Hermione learn will put Fluffy, the 3-headed dog, to sleep?
What are you
And
What
I can do a technical repeat because I kind of stumbled on that one.
Yeah, please.
Okay. In the Sorcerer's Stone, what do Harry, Ron, and Hermione learn will put Fluffy, the three-headed dog, to sleep?
Now, Scribs, you know I'm a big fan of the Wizarding World. I was in that match with Robert Parker. I took him quite a distance. I think I did pretty well for myself. And I got to say, when Viking went to multiple choice on that first question, I thought he definitely is not strong in this category.
Yeah, and I'm going to multiple choice again. So if he steals, he only gets one.
That's pretty
For
good.
multiple.
Pretty good strategy there. So your choices are A, music, B, saying his name 3 times, D, petting. No, I'm sorry, that was C, petting, and D, the sleeping spell.
Remember, kids, only pet the D if you're very, very comfortable with the other person.
I'll go with A, music.
And you are correct for 1 point, sir.
Correct for a point. Very interesting. I gotta say, I do understand not want to give your opponents points, but when you have a gap like this, I think if he's got even a slight clue, he's got to go for it. Got to get those points on the board, unless he's hoping to run away with steals against Diaz.
Yep.
All right. For our third question in the Wizarding World, whose vault at Gringotts are Griphook and the two? I'm sorry. Let me start all over. I tripped there. Whose vault at Gringotts are Griphook and the trio seen breaking into, looking for a Horcrux in Deathly Hallows Part 2?
Whose vault at Gringotts? And in case he needs it, the trio is, of course, Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley, looking for the main characters who are breaking into whose vault.
Those are like the only names in there I can pronounce.
I'm pretty sure I can't pronounce Hermione.
Yeah.
And I don't have a good guess, so I'm going to multiple again.
Multiple choice? Okay. So your choices are, Mr. McMurray, you're going to have A is Lucius Malfoy. B is Bellatrix Lestrange. C is Minerva McGonagall. D is Albus Dumbledore.
I'll go with A.
Lucius Malfoy
is unfortunately not what we're looking for on that one.
All right.
You need to hear the choices again, Mr. Diaz?
Nope, I've already written it down before he said multiple choice.
Okay, what have you got, sir?
Bellatrix Lestrange.
And that is correct for a 1 point steal.
rounding him up to 10 total points.
It's going to be a KO.
The possibility does appear to be there, but it's not over until it's over. I'm still doing the math in my head.
We still got a lot of match left.
Perhaps not, Scripps. We will see.
Well, we'll see. Question number 4 in the Wizarding World. Okay. In Chamber of Secrets, Harry and Ron meet a creature in the Forbidden Forest that reveals something to them. What is its name?
Oh. I got to study these. Multiple choice again. Sorry.
Okay. Your choices are A, Aragog, B, Falk, C, Buckbeak, and D, Hedwig.
I'll go with C.
C, Buckbeak is, unfortunately, that's not the one we're looking for on this one. Do you need to hear the choices, Chris?
Nope, I only do like the letter because I have a hard time pronouncing the name. And then A, Aragog.
It is A, Aragog.
That is absolutely correct. Aragog.
Someone's choice. Oh.
Those were
All right. Good choice of category by Diaz to give to his opponent. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely well played. So your last one of these questions, Mr. Viking, is in Deathly Hallows Part 1. While escorting Harry to safety, the Order of the Phoenix is ambushed by Death Eaters, killing Hedwig and what member of the Order?
I have a feeling we're gonna hear
Multiple choice.
that was it.
All right. Okay, so your choices are, and I'll be so glad when this dang category is over.
I haven't read the books and I don't know the movies well. I'll admit it.
Your choices are A, Bill Weasley, B, Rubus Hagrid, C, George Weasley, and D, Mad Eye Moody.
I'm going to go with C, George Weasley.
Unfortunately, that's not the one we're looking for, friend.
Not going his way.
All right, I'm guessing it's Bill Weasley then.
Okay.
Do you need to hear the choices, Chris?
Nope.
All right, what you got?
The top of my head, played by the wonderful Brendan Gleeson, and even though you do find out that he died later on in the film, it Mad Eye Moody.
Oh,
It is Mad Eye
It
Moody.
is Mad Eye Moody. That is correct for the 1 point steal.
nice.
We've got a huge 9-point gap opened up by
Wow.
the Wolf, and he hasn't even spun the wheel. We are looking for a bad category for the Wolf and a lot of steals. I usually try to be very encouraging, but the truth of the matter is, Viking, you have got to take some points or
Yep.
hope your opponent misses every single one, in which case you want to get those points. Stay alive in this match. All right, let's bring that wheel back up for the Wolf, who's having a very impressive outing here. Let's go ahead and spin it. I looked at it slowing down towards Spinner's Choice, and I said to myself, the fates are against him here. But it went a little bit further, and we landed on DC films. Mr. Diaz, would you like to keep
I say
DC?
it one more time.
He's going to respin that wheel. This will be what he has to take, unless, of course, it lands on Wizarding World, which he already got some points out of. Coming around to
Ooh, my second time doing this.
DC Extended Universe, DCEU for the Wolf.
My second time. My last match, I did the same thing. For
Mr. Diaz, you have 5 questions coming your way. You have 2 repeats remaining. Let's see what we can do. Viking, send out your Viking magic. Curse him for some misses. You need those points. Mr. Diaz, your first question in DCEU is, in Suicide Squad, Harley lies to Enchantress in order to get close enough to steal what object?
her heart.
Can you clarify, please?
You know what? I dare go multiple choice here. Just
All right. We will go ahead and give you multiple choice. I think he's definitely going to get it, so I'm going to speed on through these for you, Mr. Diaz. A, Harley's hammer. B, Deadshot's revolver. C, Flag's grenades. Or D, Enchantress's heart.
Enchantress's heart.
I don't think that's unfair. He clearly already knew what he was going for. It was the word her that I was worrying about. The way the question was worded, I thought we wanted to make sure that you got the correct person's heart. Comic book movie, you never know. Enchantress could have stolen Harley's heart. We're going to give him 1 point for that, taking him up to a 10-point lead, which means we are now getting into the category. I've got to keep that math aware in my brain, just in case we run out of enough points for this to stay close. All right, second question. The Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
In Aquaman, who plays King Nereus?
Oh. Dolph Lundgren.
For 2
There you go.
big points, it is Dolph Lundgren, taking him all the way up to 15-3. Steals will now absolutely be required. He's got to miss some questions or this match will be over. In Shazam, how many of the foster children have alliterative names? Alliterative meaning same first letter.
Oh, I
For
was wondering what
instance,
that meant.
Amy Adams is an alliterative name. Bruce Banner is an alliterative name. How many of the children in Shazam?
Oh God. 4.
I don't know if that was a guess. And Mr. Diaz, that is correct for 2 more big points, taking you to 17. This match is all but done. He's looking to put the final nail in that coffin. The truth of the matter is, all he has to do, if he wants to win this match, he could go multiple on both of these next questions, miss both, and his opponent would have to steal both. He has to miss both without multiple choice. If he even says the words multiple choice, I apologize. If he says the words multiple choice out loud, Chris Diaz will win this match. 4th question for you, Mr. Diaz. In Justice League, who tells Batman, technically speaking, he could not opt for multiple and miss twice. I have to ask the question. It's all over but the crying, folks. In Justice League, who tells Batman of the kidnapped Star Lab employees? And remember, Chris Diaz, multiple choice will technically be a winning answer in this category.
Cyborg?
Anything you say, I think.
In Justice League, who tells Batman of the kidnapped Star Lab employees?
No.
In 5.
Cyborg.
Cyborg is incorrect. We have a chance for points to go on the board. You have no multiple choice, but Viking, your question is, in Justice League, who tells Batman of the kidnapped Star Lab employees?
Silas Stone.
And your winner, by way of knockout, he is Chris the Wolf Diaz.
Thank you.
We were looking for Commissioner Gordon. Okay. And this is a match you don't often see. I gotta say, Script, I know that Viking has some knowledge. I know I've seen him put up some questions and some points before. This was not his match, clearly. Just got those questions he didn't know in round 1. Round 2, he gets opponent's choice. Not able to pull out even the one final It's at the end, it's almost insult to injury. He finally gets a chance to steal when he's almost mathematically eliminated, when the match was basically already over. Can't quite pull that one. It's just nothing going the way of the Viking today. You gotta hate to see that one.
I gotta say, I called Mr. Diaz's first match here in the MTFO, and it did not go this way. So I gotta tell you, Mr. Viking, don't be discouraged by your match today. Tomorrow's a new day, and anything can happen.
Yeah, it is absolutely true. I remember one of the greatest competitors here in the movie Trivia Face-Off, a man whose face will surely be on our own Mount Rushmore one of these days, had a very similar outing in his first. Oh, I guess it's 2 of us that Script. I remember not doing quite so well in my first match against Savage Scott Harvey way back in the first season. Folks, feel free to watch those old matches. There's some good ones in there. I highly recommend the Harry Potter match. I'm not just because I'm in it. I think that one has some great competition.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, tough match today. And sometimes that's just how the dice roll, Scribs. You've got nothing going your way, can't answer a question. But beyond that, we have Chris Diaz playing very impressively. He actually did incredibly well in that first round. He was able to pick up all those steals in the second. If I got to say, if this match was a little bit closer, we would be talking about how well he was playing the match. It's just that confluence of events. Everything wrong for one of them, everything right for the other one. With that, we've got a win for Chris Diaz, and a very impressive, very, very much a statement win for Chris Diaz. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed the match, and we will have a quick conversation with both of our competitors. I'm going to get one-on-one with them as we throw it over to, let's get old school, the Elks Lodge with me, Andrew the Elk Kelk. And I get to say it again. What's up, Face-Off fanatics? Welcome back. It is the Elks Lodge. We're going old school today, and I'm joined by a man who I got to think is not feeling his best at the moment. Tough match out there. Garth McMurray, the Viking. What do you got to say?
I got to say that I exposed my weakness on the very first question. And then, he challenged it and we got a new one, and I still, wasn't able to pull it. And so then I, didn't do well in the round 1 at all. I missed some ones that I should have gotten. And round 2, get opponent's choice. He knows exactly what to do. It was Wizarding World or Scores and Soundtracks were the ones I was fearing, and he chose right. And I could have gone with some guesses to try and get 2 points, but I didn't have educated guesses. If I wasn't, 80% sure, then he's going to steal 2 points because he'll know it. So I was just delaying the inevitable by doing multiple choice so he could only steal 1 point.
Well, I mean, I got to say it was a tough match. Obviously not the way you want to go out there, not the point total you want to end with. We've seen some great competitors not do so well in this league previously, as mentioned, and today obviously not going your way with that knockout. But I will say, I mean, you put up some points. You kept your composure about you for the most part. Can't give away those weaknesses. I warned you of that in round number 1. I said I wouldn't be giving my opponent any clues as to my weaknesses. And here in this interview, I'm going to warn you again, Viking, because I know you're going to be back and I know you're going to put up more points, but you just gave away another one, telling people you don't want that scores and soundtracks. Got to watch out for that. Nothing going your way today at all, as evidenced in round number 2. You're behind. You've got that big gash opened up. And what does the wheel do? He gives it to you. You spin it. It lands right on opponent's choice. You had to be feeling defeated when that happened.
I was. I almost wish he had gone first, because then he would have knocked me out a little sooner, or I could have stolen if I got lucky. But it was kind of rubbing salt in the wound by giving me the Wizarding World and having me to go through all those.
I know you were feeling bad. I know Scribs was feeling bad when he had to ask those questions to you. But in the end, as I said, we've seen some low-scoring games before, and people have come back and put up very impressive numbers. Here in the Schmodown, we know that it all comes down to any man on any day, what questions you can win. As Al Pacino might have said way back in Any Given Sunday, you can win, you can lose. Not going your way today, but will we see you be returning to the GEEKTACULAR League or to any other competition here in the MTFO?
GEEKTACULAR, I'll have to think on, because I'll have to obviously study the Wizarding World. And my knowledge is very weak on that, and as evidenced here today. But for singles and teams, when you get into older movies and action movies and things like that, that's where I can shine. So.
That's right. You got to do some studying. On the plus side for you, if you do want to come back, and I know we'd love to see you come back, Viking, it is 10 movies, not the largest bit of studying you'll ever have to do. You make a couple days out of it. I know I myself have previously done some studying for Harry Potter for the Wizarding World. Got to shore up those weaknesses, and next time, hope that wheel spins better. In the end, it wasn't necessarily a lack of knowledge, but instead, pretty much everything else coming down against you. My condolences to you, Viking, and thank you for your competition today. And we'll be right back with his opponent, your winner, Chris the Wolf Diaz. All right, Fanatics, we are back with the victor of today's match in impressive fashion, putting the hammer down on the Viking. It's just the kind of thing you rarely ever see. This kind of domination cannot be understated. And he's here with his manager, El Scriblo. It is Chris the Wolf Diaz. Congratulations, Chris, on that victory.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I am very proud of my muchacho today. He did very good. And one thing I have to say is, people who saw his first match, they may think that he's afraid of the movie trivia, but no. The movie trivia is afraid of the Lobito. And the Lobito is here to dominate in the MTFO this season. And we ain't going nowhere except for to the top of this GEEKTACULAR League. You got something to say, Wolf. You tell them.
Like I say, my last match, I was nervous and everything. Should have answered some stuff right, but this match was so good, and thank God for Harry Potter. That's all I say. And do round 2 again with DCU. I do much better this time than with the DCU last time.
Oh, that is right. You can't be nervous if you have a strong Lobito. You want to get out there and you want to get those points. You want to go out there and you want to make a name for yourself. And I think you've done that today. And you bring it up. You bring up DC, DCEU. We remember there was that confusion in the first round, and I think that played to your advantage. I got to say, beyond just being a dominating competitor, beyond that incredible knockout performance, Scriblo, your competitor, Good use of his challenge. Remembers the questions being asked in round one. Good choice on opponent's choice. Something he knows he's strong in. He knows his opponent does not know as well. Got to say, he played this match very well. In addition to getting that knockout, you got to be proud of him today.
See. We all know that these matches are part knowledge and part psychological. So we know how to get into the opponent's heads and how to make us win.
Absolutely. And when you did, incredible performance. You rarely see this kind of difference in a match, ending up at a final score of 17-3, just about as dominating as it can get, which means, of course, with a performance like that, he's got to be looking at the top of the GEEKTACULAR division. He's looking at those competitors. We've got those rankings out there, number 1, number 2, number 3. I told you, I called dibs on one of them, but there's a couple other really, really dangerous guys out there. Who is the Wolf going to be facing off against next? Who is he looking at?
He is looking at everybody. Like I said earlier, my little wolf is hungry, and he is ready to eat.
There is one opponent that is hiding from me right now. Grave Digger. He's still out there. I think I do want to challenge him because he chickened out on that in the match recently.
Yes, if he comes back from the grave, we will take him out.
All right, a challenge has been thrown down. Will it be accepted? The Grave Digger, will he dig his own grave? After watching today's performance by Chris the Wolf Diaz, will he be running in fear? I got to say, personally, if there were any comparison that I could draw, to me, that's a little bit like John Wick challenging you to a gunfight. You look at something that happened today, like what happened today, no competitor is going to want to step into the ring with Chris Diaz, unless, of course, competitors, you want to make that name for yourself. After a performance like this, you'd better bring it and bring it hard. Congratulations to you, Chris Diaz. Well managed by you, El Scriblo. Pleasure to see you. Glad to have you here in the MTFO. And anything else to say before we get back to the desk?
Only this. The WWE, we are coming. The World War Geek, it is ours to win.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next match, and good job to my opponent. Well, Josh, you were really good. I'm looking forward to facing you again, maybe in the future and other stuff. Wish you both the well luck as an opponent to opponent.
All right. He is gracious in victory. I don't know how that works. I've never done that myself. And his manager is saying he's coming for that World War Geek. He's got a challenge down. He's got World War Geek coming up. And after the performance today, he is one to watch. Incredible performance. The knockout victory. Congratulations to you once again with Chris the Wolf Diaz, with El Scribble. Let's take it back to the desk with Hillbilly Scribs and the prettiest man in the movie trivia face-off, Andrew the Elk Kelk. All right, welcome back, folks. Those wonderful interviews from none other than the most exciting man, the hardest working man in the movie trivia face-off, Andrew the Elk Kelk. Great job, Andrew. You're never going to get fired. And Scribs, we had a matchup. We've got two competitors. Obviously, the Viking a little despondent about that loss. Not the greatest showing for him. This is a dominant, a convincing, an absolute just powerhouse performance by Chris Diaz with the monster knockout. He is one to watch out for in the GEEKTACULAR League.
Absolutely. You know, I mentioned, I think I mentioned, I was around like when this kiddo had his debut match, and you know, he did all right, but nothing like today. I know I've seen him like almost every day on the Discord in the training channel, and all that time and hard work had definitely paid off, and he put a big old fat exclamation point on his victory today.
Absolutely. It was a heck of a match, and it was a heck of a victory for the Wolf. He's standing alone. And after a performance like that, I got to say, next time we book him into a match, I'm thinking he's going to be coming up against a very highly ranked competitor after a performance like that. So he'd better get ready, because he's going to need that knowledge. He's going to need to step up and put those points on the board. Lots of people on the top of the league. I know I've seen those numbers. We've got Thomas Scully out there looking very impressive. That's a possibility. I don't know who he's going to face next. I just know one thing. Who he's not going to face next is going to be David Garcia, because that coward is still out there. He's ducking me, folks. He doesn't want the challenge. He wanted to call me out. He wanted to say the Elk is the man on his list. Well, I'm on a lot of lists. It's mostly good-looking ladies, but if Garcia wants to put me on his list, I told you, anytime, anywhere, I'm out here, I'm waiting. All you got to do is step up, Garcia, and I will knock you back on down, just like Chris Diaz knocked down the Viking today. Not the best match for the Viking. I know he can do better than that. You hate to see someone have a match like that, but it was a KO victory. Very, very strong KO victory for Chris the Wolf Diaz. Folks, thank you as always for joining us here on the Movie Trivia Face Off. Remember to thank all those folks down below. You see those names scrolling by. We've got our question writers. We've got all the people here on the desk, like my good friend Hillbilly Scribs, doing an amazing job today, as always. Good to be on the desk with you, Scribs. Everybody working very hard to bring the entertainment to you here in the Geektacular division and in all of our divisions. Lots of exciting stuff coming up. Check out season 2 and go back. Like I said, check out season 1. Rewatch some of those classic matches containing, hey, maybe the two guys here on the desk today. It's been a pleasure joining you, and we will return very soon. For Scribs, for myself, and for the entire MTFO, I'll see you next time we face off.
Keep it glorious, folks.